Hello everybody, welcome back to Cooking with Grandma. Today I'm going to be making chocolate chip cookies, but not just the ordinary everyday chocolate chip cookies. These are going to be triple chocolate chip cookies. So we're going to get started. The recipe is basically the same as your normal chocolate chip cookie recipe is, except that I'm adding 2 more kinds of chocolate to make it triple chocolate. So the first thing we need to do is put in 1 cup of margarine or butter if you choose to use butter. Okay, we need 1 cup of softened. It's better if it's softened. That's what I like the oleo in the tubs, because it's softened. You don't have to, take it out of your refrigerator. This came straight out of the fridge and it's still soft. You don't have to take it out, a half an hour ahead of time or kind of stick it in the microwave and hope it doesn't melt. It just softens because this is already softened up. So 1 cup of margarine goes in. So now the next thing we need is 1 cup of brown sugar. Measure that out. And don't forget, you always want to pack your brown sugar in tight. You want to pack it down. I mean, if you leave it loose, it's okay, but for some reason you need the extra. You need to pack it down tight for when you measure brown sugar. So there's the brown sugar, and I just used the same measuring cup as the butter, so it doesn't hurt it because it's not any kind of ingredient that can't be mixed together. And now we need 2/3 cup of white sugar. Okay, 1 and 2. A lot of sugar, but it's, it's spread out over a fair amount of cookies, so it's not too bad. And now we need 2 eggs. And this recipe I like is you just dump everything in the bowl. Dump it in. You don't have to pre-mix, mix this and mix that and do the dry ingredients in one bowl and the wet ingredients in another and then mix them together. Put everything all in one bowl and then give it a good mix. And you're good. I will mix up just a little bit just to get the sugar and the eggs incorporated, but you don't have to. You can just, this just makes, if you do this, it just makes a little bit more room in the bowl instead of everything being on top of each other. We'll just give that a little bit of a stir. There, good enough. Okay, now to that we put 1 teaspoon of vanilla. One teaspoon of vanilla. And we're going to add 2 cups of flour. Okay, measure that out. Okay, 2 cups of flour. And 1 teaspoon of salt. There's my recipe down on the floor. So 1 teaspoon of salt. Okay. That goes in. And you need 1 teaspoon of baking soda, not baking powder. These aren't the type of cookies that rise. One teaspoon of baking soda. And now the fun part. Now you need 1 cup of chocolate chips. Okay. So I'm going to put in, I'm not going to put in the whole entire cup because I'm adding other chocolate, so I'm going to do about 3/4 of a cup. I mean, you could really, you could go ahead and put it all in and it'd be, yeah, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and put that other 1/4 of a cup in. Why not? Then it's going to be super chocolatey. And to that you need, okay, it says walnuts. I'm not using walnuts, so I'm going to use, there's my first chocolate. Now the second chocolate I'm going to use is white chocolate chips. And I'm going to put a cup of white chocolate chips. So we got dark chocolate chips, white chocolate chips, and for my third chocolate, It is cocoa powder. I'm going to put 1/3 of a cup of cocoa powder. So we got your basic chocolate chip cookie recipe, but I've added white chocolate chips and cocoa as well to the regular chocolate chips. I'm going to mix this all up and get it. It's going to take a little bit because there's a fair amount of, I mean, you can use a bigger bowl. I should have used a bigger bowl, but it's all right. This is when I mixed up the butter and the sugar together first, it added room into the bowl, and it made it a little bit easier to incorporate the dry ingredients and the chocolate. Good mix. Now you could make this into if you didn't want to do cookies with this, you could make this into a little cake. Make a little square cake pan, and you can have chocolate chip cake. But I'm going to do cookies. I'm sending these to my little boys in Mississauga. We're all still in lockdown, so we still can't visit. And the stay-at-home order is still in effect here in Ontario, so we have to talk to each other on the computer, on the phone. So this way they still get Grandma's treats. I'll be making them cookies, and I don't know, I haven't figured out what else to make them yet. I'll think of something. Okay, we've just about got this one section there that doesn't want to stir. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to drop this by teaspoonfuls on your lined baking sheets. I used my Silpat that I had gotten for my birthday. These are wonderful. If you want to invest in these, it's well worth the cost, because then you take these off, you rinse them out, and then you put them back in the cupboard, and your cookie sheets don't need any washing. And if your cookie sheets are in the very well loved state mine are in, it's good to have them covered. And you can use parchment paper, you can use wax paper, or you can just butter them. Like some cookies you need to butter the tray for, and some you don't. This calls for to grease your tray, because these will stick. But with the Silpats, they will not stick. So I'm doing these pretty good. I'm pretty big. I'm making a very generous teaspoon. Like I'm doubling it. I'm getting a very good scoop. That one was a little bit much. And these are going to bake for about 8 to 10 minutes, I would think. Now, when the regular chocolate chip cookies, come on now, get over there. The regular recipe, bake 15 minutes, but I've never had to bake my cookies that long. Now, these are a little bit bigger, but the addition of the chocolate is not going to matter in baking time. Whenever you add something to your recipe, you don't add baking time unless it's bigger or smaller. Then if it's like a teeny tiny cookie, they're going to bake a little bit quicker, obviously, than a big cookie. And if it's thick, it's going to take a little more time to bake than if it's thinner. So I'll get these first trays in the oven, and I'll come back and show you how yummy they look, and how chewy and how chocolatey. And my boys will love them. There we go. Okay, so that was really quick and easy. It didn't take very long at all. So these are going in the oven. I've already preheated the oven. There we go. And I'll set the timer for, I'm going to set the timer for 8 minutes and check them after that and see if I need more time. Okay, so it's been 10 minutes and my cookies are done. I had started them off at 8, but I needed to give them the 2 extra minutes. So there you go. You can see the white chocolate showing through on some of them, and then they're dark because of the cocoa, and then the chocolate chips are inside. I'm going to take a knife and cut this because they're still hot, right out of the oven. But you can see, let's see, there, you can see the layers of chocolate in there, how the chocolate chips have, The chocolate chips have melted. Doesn't want to stay on the knife. There we go. And you can see a little bit of the white with the white chocolate chip and the other chocolate in there. So there you have it. Regular chocolate chip cookie recipe turned into triple chocolate chip cookies. So enjoy. Stay safe, everybody. Feel free to copy this recipe. Use it. Leave me a comment below, and if you liked it and what you'd like me to bake or cook. I can do anything between sweet and savory, main meals, it doesn't matter. And if I don't have the recipe, I can get it. So just leave me a comment below. Hit that like button, please, and subscribe if you haven't. Thank you. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.